I don't know where I was going with this, but I didn't think I was gonna be very emotional about this. But hey guys, I'm Jessica, and today I am going to be talking about Crazy Rich Asians and kind of just like the phenomenon. It's kind of the influence that it's kind of had over these past like few weeks, and honestly just like what it means to me and what it represents for me as an Asian American. And so yeah, let's get started. So I recently saw Crazy Rich Asians, maybe like 2 weeks ago, a week ago, with a few friends, and I went in there and it was packed. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, it's, well, one thing, they're redoing our one theater in town. So like half of like the theaters were closed and like the other half was still open. But yeah, I went in there and it was packed, and I was surprised because I live in a predominantly white area, and I don't know, I was just surprised. I mean, not like I just expected all Asians to be there, but I was just, don't know. It just, like I said, just surprised. Yeah, I watched it with my friends and I loved it. It was at times for me it was weird to see like only Asian Americans on the screen. Yeah, it was just really like mind blowing and kind of weird for me, because to me, I was like, okay, this like isn't normal, which is shouldn't be the case like at all. You know what I mean? So I mean, there are some times where I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like, I'm expecting someone who's not Asian to be coming on the screen soon, right? Nope. I love the storyline, and I love Constance Wu. She did an amazing job, and Henry Golding did an amazing job too. And just the casting was phenomenal. The storyline was phenomenal. I haven't read the books. I want to, but yeah, I felt like the storyline. Okay, if you don't want to know what happens, there might be spoilers, so don't watch this if you haven't seen it yet and you want to know what it's going to be about. There was just there were some knickknacks here and there, like storylines that I really connected with. One where I loved that they um, played, that they had a storyline with Rachel's mom, and I love that like relationship that they had with each other, because they only had each other. I love that, and I guess you don't see it often portrayed, I guess, or maybe just like in Asian American like culture, or just like Asian culture. Like, for me, I've never seen like that mother daughter relationship where they were just so close and they just shared everything together. So I really love that. That was really heartwarming for me. And then just the interactions that Rachel would have with Nick's mom, how she was almost kind of like really manipulative, and I guess you could say like the tiger mom in a way, or she just had like just values that, you know, have been, she had grown up with like those values that like she wanted to protect, like within like her family and their legacy. I mean, growing up Asian American, like I definitely got that from my parents. You know, they wanted the best for us, and you know, they wanted us to just, you know, be the usual, like a doctor or a lawyer, and, you know, make all this money, and so that, you know, being wealthy would make us happy. And I get that because, like, you know, my parents, they grew up in they grew up most of their life in Thailand and Laos and they didn't have a lot. So I get that they want the best for us. That storyline with Rachel and Eleanor, um, that really, I don't know, I guess just like brought to light the like Asian American or like the Asian kind of like values, which I really liked. That I mean, I guess like most cultures are similar to that and like they have like those kind of values too, but it was just different for me to see that on screen. And just kind of talking, I just want to also talk about just like the phenomenon that like, or like the influence in the movement that's kind of happening with Crazy Rich Asians. And people are like, you know, why is this like so big, like why does it matter? And honestly, it does matter, because you know, I was reading all these articles and you know, watching all these interviews and of the cast, and it's been 25 years since an all Asian cast has been like on the screen. I that's you know, that was from like an American studio. Not, I don't want to say like obviously Memoirs of a Geisha or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, those are all Asian casts, but it wasn't from like an American studio, I guess, or like a Hollywood studio. And I guess the last movie that came out with an all Asian cast was The Joy Luck Club. And I haven't read that or I haven't seen the movie, but I kind of know like the gist of it. Yeah, it's just astounding and crazy to think about like why has it taken this long to um, to have an all Asian cast? Like, what makes Hollywood think that, you know, like a leading Asian man or actor, you know, or like leading Asian actress, like what makes them think that it won't sell? Because obviously, like Crazy Rich Asians has been doing so well in the theaters, and I've been reading now that like Hollywood is like they're scrambling for like stories, like Asian centric stories, and I'm just like, well, you don't need Asian centric stories. You could just cast like an Asian man or Asian woman as a lead instead of, you know, just like supporting characters. I feel like that's kind of like the big thing that's been happening with like Crazy Rich Asians. And kind of what it means to me is I feel like it's a big deal for me because I didn't have you know, like that, like the role models like that I wanted growing up. And for me, like I love TV, I love movie, like, and growing up Asian American, like I didn't see Asian people on TV. Of course, like, you know, you have like your Chinese dramas or Japanese or Korean dramas, but I feel like that's different because it wasn't shown like on TV regularly, like, you know, any like American like sitcom. So not being able to like like to be represented or to like almost like see yourself like or like see someone similar to you like on screen, it was hard. Like I remember being younger and growing up, and like when I did see Asian people on screen or on TV, I was so excited because I was like, hey, like what the heck, they're on screen, that's pretty cool. Like um I feel like the only people that I remember even seeing was like Michelle Kwan, and she was an athlete, which is awesome. And I was like, hey, like that's pretty cool what she's doing. But you know, the Olympics only came one every few years, so I mean, we were always rooting for her. And but yeah, anyways, so yeah, just I feel like just not being able to like see someone similar to me, like, and like seeing like, you know, like an Asian face on TV, that was really hard. And you know, it almost kind of um like dreams kind of died, or just like dreams didn't start because I didn't think that I could do what, you know, oh, like, you know, like what a white person would be doing on screen, like being an actress or being a dancer, being a singer. Like I didn't see that, so it's just like, okay, like maybe that's just never going to happen for me. yeah, I feel like that was, I feel like Crazy Rich Asians is has been like a step in the right way of representation, and like that Hollywood needs to change. It's like, why has it taken them this long to like figure it out? I mean, like America is so diverse, as you know, we're super diverse. I mean, there's white, there's Asian, there's black, there's Mexican, there's like South Asian, and like, you know, like all these different like people, types of people, and we're not all being represented on the screen, which makes me really sad. And I'm sure I'm not like, you know, the only race to feel like I'm not being represented. I was never represented on screen. And I also wanted to like just talk about not being represented as like an Asian woman on screen, but also like for men, um, Asian men, you know, just the stereotype that, um, you know, they can't be a leading man, which makes me sad because I feel like there are so many talented like Asian men or Asian actors, and it's like what, you know, I was so excited to see like Steven Yeun in The Walking Dead, of all shows, like The Walking Dead, and you know, just seeing his storyline and his character evolve and develop and not just like kind of sit on the back burner. um, that was amazing to watch and see that, you know, he can be a leading man. And I love that they gave him a romantic like relationship with Maggie, and and I feel like that's a step right there. It's just like, hey, like, you know, he can be a leading man. An Asian man can be attractive, and you know, he can do his thing. And so I feel like Asian men are also very um, underrepresented in the industry as far as like leading roles, which makes me sad because, you know, I having two boys, two Asian boys, I don't ever want them to grow up thinking that they can't do that if they wanted to. And I want them to know that they can do anything they want to, just not just because it's not represented or, you know, not shown. I want them to be able to, you know, hopefully with this like changing like Hollywood and just like the media industry and entertainment industry, like if they ever wanted to be an actor, a model, a singer, whatever, musician, like I want them to be able to know that they can do it regardless of, sorry, regardless of their race. You know, like I feel like race is such a beautiful thing, and you know, God created us all so differently, but we're also all very similar in the things that we deal with, um, just as humans. So um, just so grateful for like the Crazy Rich Asians cast and what they're doing, and you know, the movement that they're starting. And you know, I hope it continues, and I hope it doesn't stop. I hope it doesn't stop for Asian Americans, for Latino Americans, for, you know, African Americans. Honestly, just like any race out there that they feel like they don't feel represented. I hope it keeps going up and not backwards. So yeah, I feel like I said everything I wanted to say. If you guys have any questions or want me to talk about something else, or discuss my thoughts on other stuff, I would love to. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.